started to play jazz, and I wrote some jazz records. And then I got into ragtime. And then I got into sort of folky jam music, Bob Dylan. And then I got into Queen and Bowie and rock and roll. And then I started listening to disco. I guess you could say it was my intellectual evolution, and my love of music just began to change and form. And when I was living downtown alone, I was able to more confidently look into myself and ask that question: must I write? Must I create music? And I answered, I must. And if you must create music, what is it that you have to say? Why make it at all? So I resigned myself to make the kind of music that I wanted to listen to. Not what I thought anyone wanted to hear, or what would perhaps be the most credible or notable. I just created what I wanted to listen to, what I thought was great, what I thought could be groundbreaking where I was living, which was an area where indie music was much more popular and pop music was considered to be annoying or corporate or unimportant. So I decided, in true Gaga fashion, to be revolutionary and go against the grain and make pop music in a town where there was none.
Brilliant.
Hi everyone. I love you.
I'm glad you can fill these
I wish
little
I could
gaps.
see all of you. It's not fair. This lovely window. You have a lovely window. I don't get to see all of you. It's not fair.
Okay. Just bringing up our 6th question now.
We need to build little teeny tiny monster satellites.
And this is a question about your monsters,
Okay,
which is great.
good.
Your fans do so much for you, from rallying together to vote you to the top of the charts to holding mass requesting sessions on radio stations. Why do you think so many little monsters care and support you the way they do? And that's from Farah Marie in Santa Barbara.
You know, I don't know. I feel so blessed. It's so unexplainable, the love that I feel from my fans and how they treat me. All of the videos that they create and the lovely notes and the artwork. I mean, just the other day I spent a few hours just reading through all this fan mail that was sent to me and sending back autographs and looking at all the artwork. And I sit with House of Gaga and people that I work with in the crew, and we all rave about how talented and lovely my fans are. I guess all I would say is I think love is it's a symbiotic thing, especially when it's real. So perhaps it's just very real. And I put love into my fans, and they put love into me, and we just continue to give love back and forth to each other forever.
Fantastic. And I have a feeling that my next question, or our next question rather, relates directly to that.
Great.
And to the idea of this relationship between you and your fans and sort of the give and take between both of you. This is by Vikram Alexi Kansara in New York. And his question is, traditionally pop stars engage in one-way communication with their fans, but your relationship with your little monsters is more like a digital conversation. Is this a conscious or instinctual gesture?
It's instinctual. I am the way I want to be with my fans. We have a very special and honest relationship. It's almost comical to even talk about, because I go on stage sometimes and I have had a really bad day or something's wrong. Just the other day I revealed to my fans that my grandpa's sick. My grandpa's in the hospital. And it's very difficult for me because I'm away and I want to be home, but I don't want to disappoint my fans because so many of them spent all their money on tickets to the shows. So I sat down at the piano and I said to them, I had a bad day. My grandpa's sick. And then the next day, I went to, as usual, say hello to all my fans on Twitter, let them know what I've been doing. And I had seen that there were all these lovely messages from them, and that worldwide they had trended, "Get well, Grandpa Gaga." That has nothing to do with my music or my clothes or making an album #1 or a song #1. That's just pure friendship. My new album that I'm creating, which is finished pretty much, was written with this new instinctual energy that I've developed getting to know my fans. They protect me, so it's now my destiny to protect them. I talk too much for him to be typing. I feel terrible.
No, not at all.
You should just tell me to shut up. Okay, that's enough.
Okay.
I've had enough. Your fingers will be bleeding.
We'll see when we get, maybe when we get past the hour-long mark, then it might be that I try to pull out the one-question answers and things like that. But no, this is great. Okay, I'm just going to double-check.
So you're typing and sending them live?
Exactly. This is uploaded live onto the website. So I'm just going to try and...
So advanced.
Just making sure that we've got everything done. I did want to get in the thing about your grandpa and the Twitter, because I think it's interesting how much you use Twitter as well. That idea of...
Well, I actually think it's part of why, you don't have to write all of this, but part of why Twitter is so great is because, for me, you can build trust with your fans if you use it for the right reasons. You know, people that argue on Twitter or are just using it as a celebrity networking device, it's boring and it has nothing to do with your fans or your vocational purpose. I use the internet. I've embraced the internet in a pop cultural kind of way. I think about what would a pop artist have done in the 70s or the 80s if the internet was what it is today, and they would have embraced it. Warhol would have, he would have done something beyond what I do and what we all do with the internet because, or I could liken it to what Nick Knight does with the internet, because it is so powerful, because it can reach so many people. Even previewing music videos and things, I can use the television, but the truth is that the internet is more powerful because it gives other people the platform to have a voice. You can comment, you can chat with other people that are watching the same videos that you're watching. You can make friends on the internet safely make friends. But I guess my point is, I think it's wonderful to embrace that there's now 2 windows. And that's what I was just saying about how I wish there was another window right now looking out into the fans. But I know that they can all comment online, which is wonderful. And I will read all of your comments. I just, embracing the internet is what a pop artist should do. It is the new era. It's the way we live. We are wired.
It's interesting that you're talking about eras and ideas, because that kind of links on, this is a bit of a sort of volte-face or a non sequitur to what I've been asking you. But it's from John Galliano in Paris, who is asking, if you were able to travel through time, where would you go? Backwards or forwards, and why? It's a bit of a difficult one.
It's not very difficult. Well, my first inclination would be to say to go to the past, because I would, of course, love to experience and see all that has influenced and shaped